Hello, beautiful creative soul, and welcome back to another episode of Chakra-Care for the Creative Soul. Hello, I'm your host, Pollyanna Blanco, and I'm here today to talk to you. I'm just taking my watch off so I can keep an eye on the time today. Talk to you about how to not only balance your crown chakra and to go beyond it and stabilize it. And we're looking at spiritual hygiene for lightworkers. And yes, this is such an important topic. It's part of a 7-part series that I've been exploring here on the channel. And I've got all my chakra colors on today in honor of the 7 energy centers in our body. And hand on heart, yesterday, in all transparency, I felt this incredible desire to purge clutter in my home. We all get busy. We all get into sort of different creative projects. I know I'm definitely a creative project person. And sometimes I call it creative clutter. I can let my physical environment get a little topsy-turvy. And I was starting to feel like I had made the basement into a walk-in closet. So, and just also the seasons are changing here in Toronto, and decided to, purge things that, and give them to people who could appreciate them and who would, enjoy wearing them. And just, bring out the warmer clothing and pack away the cooler stuff. So it's interesting right now as I sort of start the show with you that the crown chakra, because I had a few crown chakra moments yesterday. I'm going to be completely transparent with all of you. The crown chakra is, for those of you, most people I'm sure listening to this are familiar, is at the top of the head, the crown of the head, as the name sounds. And it's really our connection to our divine guidance. It's that alignment to ourselves beyond the human form. It's that communication that we have with our soul, with our spirit, with our expanded self, with our multidimensional presence that is witnessing us. And the interesting thing is, if you've ever caught yourself in a moment of worry or confusion, this is often a sign that our crown chakra is needing some attention. So, for example, if you've noticed before that you have gone into patterns of overthinking or gone into patterns of ruminating or just focusing more on your thoughts and you're bumping into furniture, then your crown chakra needs your attention. If you are starting to go into overwhelm even, or noticing your thoughts becoming more negative, your crown chakra needs a little more attention. If you're also feeling that you're neglecting your physical body or your physical environment, your crown chakra needs some attention. So I'm here as your poster child today to talk about, the importance of noticing the signs and signals outside around us that are reminders to not only open, activate, and balance this area, but also stabilize it and sort of unpack the difference of what it means between balancing and opening it and stabilizing it. So in this series, I've been sharing a lot about how important it is to develop that capacity to notice what we're noticing. This is something my beloved spiritual teachers, Sri Ramka and Master Lady Kira Ra, have instilled in me. So it's hard for me to explain this any other way because it's become so much a part of how I approach my sacred self-care. And with the crown chakra, right now we're living at a very exciting time on Earth. And what I've noticed in my own journey, and only take this if it resonates for you, is that sometimes the same energy that feels like excitement can also feel like anxiety. It depends how the mind of form interprets it. And it depends how our belief systems also filter the thoughts that feed the interpretation of it. So our crown chakra has to do with our belief system. And many of us have so many subconsciously programmed beliefs that when we set the intention to start doing something new or to show up differently for ourselves or others in the world, oftentimes when we find ourselves getting confused or frustrated because we're intending something and it's maybe not out picturing quickly, that has a lot to do with the subconscious beliefs that are running counter to our intentions, but they're underneath the hood. They're underneath our radar system. And so this is where there's a bit of a disconnect. There's a misalignment because we're intending consciously one thing, and then subconsciously our limiting beliefs are pinching off that possibility. They're nulling and voiding our intention, and we're not even aware of it. So I feel like with the crown chakra, it's a really important energy center to notice, because there's so many signs that it will use to get our attention in this noticing game, right? One of the important things to keep in mind is that when we're noticing things, like I've shared before, we're noticing it without criticism, without judgment, because that will keep us stuck in the mind of form. That will keep us stuck in the overthinking. That will keep us stuck in the ruminating. One of the best ways I've found to open and balance the crown chakra is to get back in my body, is to get grounded. So it's very interesting because there's a very profound partnership between our crown chakra and our root chakra. Oftentimes, if we're not grounded in our root chakra, our crown chakra, our thoughts will be all over the map. We might be over intellectualizing things. For example, we might have an overactive crown chakra and we might be lost in thought and thinking our way through life. Also, if we're not grounded in our root chakra, the impact on our crown chakra is that we may feel spacey or kind of not fully here. And we might find it difficult to make decisions. We might feel sort of out of it, and so the beauty of these two bookends of our in-body chakra system working together and partnering is that they actually create literally an energetic feedback loop and a circulation loop. When I was studying my Reiki master the first time round, did it twice, we talk about the sushumna and being able to circulate the chi or the life force energy um, all the way up and all the way down, and the microcosmic orbit and all this stuff, like this ability to, like, it's almost like an energy egg. And again, this is why when we talk about opening our chakras, we're talking about allowing for the flow and the movement of energy and life force to pulsate and move through these centers and nourish all the organs that they feed into, the endocrine system, and our energetic bodies that create this energy egg around us. So it's really important to have this flow. And if there is a block there, it's oftentimes because we've defaulted to an old habit that was a coping mechanism that, if we pay attention to it now, here and now, today, we can recognize it's not lightening us up. It's actually weighing us down in some way. And so a big part of this chakra and, caring for the spiritual hygiene of it, especially as light workers, because light workers care so much for the world. Gosh, we see everything that's going on in the world. There are so many possibilities to get hooked into anger, frustration, outrage, all kinds of intense emotional states, and then even overthinking, which can lead to all kinds of other things such as anxiety or even depression. And so it's really important that with this energy center, we're making sure that we find ways to get back into our body, to feel grounded in our body, and we also find ways to release those limiting beliefs. We also find ways to notice when we are getting stuck in overthinking and when we are sort of moving into the paralysis of analysis. Because, and one of the best ways I found with that is just the simple practice of putting our hands on our heart, taking a deep breath in and out, feeling the warmth of your heart on your hands and the warmth of your hands on your heart, and really connecting, getting back into that sensate connection to your heart center. Notice I didn't say emotionality. The heart is really the true root chakra in the ascended chakra system. And so when the head's trying to kind of go off on a rampage, it's really important. The antidote to that is to also anchor in the heart. And one of the best ways you can do that is to physically feel the sensate feeling of the warmth of your hands on your heart, and your heart on your body, and then to choose something to focus on with your mind to form. Give it something to focus on. Give it that cookie in that juice box, and put it in the back seat of the car, in the child safety seat, and ask it to focus on something that you are grateful for, or something that you appreciate, something that that brings you joy, that warms your heart. And to keep your hands on your heart, breathe, circulate that feeling of gratitude, circulate that feeling of lightness of being. Let it feed and nourish every cell in your body. You can even visualize it doing that, bringing everything online, affirming that you're safe, using your mind and your thoughts to affirm, I am safe, all is well in my world, and breathing that in and relaxing, setting the intention to relax more, allowing your breathing to lengthen, feeling your sit bone on your chair, feeling the warmth of your hands on your heart, focusing on something that you're grateful for, relaxing, letting the mind just work with you, partnering with you, for you. You're commanding it, right? So this is a very gentle, easy, natural way to begin to not only open and balance. See, the crown chakra is a lot about self-awareness. Some questions, to notice are how aware are you of yourself and your environment and the impact of that relationship? Like on a concrete level, I'm juggling a lot, as all of us are, with teaching full time, building my passion projects and business in tandem with that. Recently, I was dealing, because I danced my heart out a couple weekends ago, with healing a what now has turned out to be a sprained tendon in my right ankle. I think I overpronated when I was dancing because I was being spun a lot. And I wanted to dance so much that I think that anesthetized any discomfort or pain I was feeling at the time. So I kept going, and I didn't notice what I was noticing in my physical body because I was just in a bliss journey, right? And it caught up with me afterwards. Powerful lesson in noticing what you're noticing, right? So yeah, with all these things I've been juggling, it's like I started to notice the impact as I was passing by certain areas of my home, going, oh my gosh, every time I look at that, I think this thought, and it makes me feel this way. And I have this sort of ripple effect, this chain reaction of thoughts, emotional responses, sensations in my body. Okay, even if it makes me feel uncomfortable to deal with it, because I'd rather just relax on the weekend after a full week of work, I am going to tackle this. I'm going to approach it, and I'm going to deal with it. And I'm just going to have a drink for a quick second because I'm losing my throat a little bit today. So yes, so this is what I just really wanted to share, is how important this chakra is. As I said at the beginning, it's all about our self-awareness. And you may be noticing in your own life right now, if you pay attention closely, some of you probably do, where is there, what things in your life are taking up what I like to call mental real estate? What things are hooking you? What things are repetitive thoughts? And can you do something about it? Yes, you can. You absolutely can. And so it starts with that awareness. It also then shifts into noticing what your beliefs are. For example, I'm going to use my example of cleaning because it's so omnipresent for me right now. I'm going to be doing a little bit more after the show. Um, is that what are your beliefs around what you feel you need to do? What are you telling yourself? Oh, I don't have enough time, or something like that. What can you tell yourself instead of that? And what if you were to do that? How would it look and feel different? And literally notice, use that self-awareness of the crown to check in and notice how you're feeling when you say that. I have to say, this morning when I walked downstairs, I felt so different in my body. It's still a work in progress, but I felt so different in my body. I felt a lightness of being just by tackling my physical environment. And you see, the one thing too with our crown chakra is, and I like to call it my beautiful mind, the mind of form will really just try to keep us in our habitual patterns of behavior and thought patterns because it believes it's doing its job to keep us safe. And a big part of the spiritual awakening journey, as I've experienced it so far, and I'm curious to know if you have too, please feel free to comment below or share a comment in the chat. I'm going to go to that a little later on in today's call. And just ask yourself, what, you know, when you pay attention to all of these things, what comes up, what grabs your attention? um, you know, the mental real estate thing is there actually to serve us. And yet when we get hooked into it, it can feel like it's doing the opposite. It can feel like it's um, draining our energy or um, depleting us somehow. So to have that sense of clean and clear lightness of being, um, it's really important to notice not only, like I've been saying, our thoughts, noticing our beliefs, noticing how those dance with our relationships, our environment, the meaning we're making out of the moment. Because ultimately, this chakra is where we connect with our soul. And our soul is constantly speaking to us. Our soul is constantly guiding us into situations to help us to grow. And in my own personal experience, oftentimes those experiences at first may feel a little uncomfortable. And the simple reason for that is because the mind of form, it's outside of its comfort zone, it's outside of its jurisdiction. And so it resists. And so the key is to step into the new by really noticing and being self aware. And when we're self aware, then we can hold that neutral mind, that compassionate heart, that grounded present sensate body as we move through each moment by moment. Ideally, that is what has helped me. It's when only one aspect of the self is trying to run the show, like the mind, that it really shows up in the crown chakra. And when it's when we allow it to relax through that body based awareness, the heart centeredness, and the noticing, from a neutral, non judgmental, compassionate place, then we begin to open up to so much beautiful guidance and so much inspiration and so much clarity and so much insight that it's this liberating moment where we realize, oh my goodness, this is so much easier. This allows me to be so much more creative, invites me to be so much more in flow and and to enjoy each moment more. It's kind of like the kind of wow moment where we go, it was easy all along and I didn't, oh my gosh, it was easy all along and now I realize that. So this is the part of the journey, and it's something that is a great gift from our crown chakra. And as light workers who care a lot about the world, it's really important because we're often noticing other people in the world, noticing other things going on in the world, and wanting to make those spaces and places and people's lives better. That sometimes, not always, although I think it's more common than not, in the inner awakening spiritual journey that comes along through that, it can be so tempting to get so focused on the task out there that it can be such a slippery slope. We can easily go into overthinking. We can easily go into um, that sort of such a focused, um, it's not a vision, but a focused attention, but not in the sense of multidimensional awareness, just like laser beam focus, where it's like I'm just going to do whatever I need to do and get it done, and be and focus all of my energy and attention there. But then we lose that connection to other aspects of self that need nourishment along the way, so that we're bringing our whole self, our whole presence forward. That's so important. I'm going to just take a moment and just go to the chat and just see if by chance anybody is over there, and we'll see. Oh my goodness, Batya, thank you so much. Much love to you too. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Oh, beautiful. Well, I'm going to attempt to do something that I did attempt a while ago, and it didn't work out so well. And so I'm going to take a leap of faith, because the crown chakra is all about taking leaps of faith. And I'm going to attempt to screen share something with you. Let's see if, yes, I can. Okay, I'm going to try that in just a moment. And hopefully, the last time I did this, the sound didn't play. So, Bacha, if you're still watching when I'm sharing this right now, if you could let me know if the sound is playing, that would be great. I am going to share with you right now another passion project that I literally, this is another example of, and I share this to hopefully with the intention of inspiring someone else out there, that it doesn't matter whether you have two pennies to rub together, you just need passion and spirit. This book trailer for when my book In Rhythm with Your Soul came out 10 years ago, literally was an example of trusting the divine. And that's why, in hindsight, I'm so proud of that moment, because we all have moments in our lives that we can look back to when we're faced with other new leaps of faith that we need to take to restore that creative courage, to trust ourselves in the universe that much more, and to balance and stabilize any wobbles that could be there along the way, right? So this book trailer, in a nutshell, what I can simply say is that I got an intuitive hit as I was walking into the physiotherapist's office to chat with the then secretary at the time, and ask her if we got chatting. It turned out she did ballroom dance. And I said, oh, would you like to be a part of my ballroom dance video? This brings me back to when I was in elementary school and I wanted to perform The Wizard of Oz. And I said, hey, who wants, in the schoolyard, at recess, who wants to be in my play, And I gathered all these classmates together to put on The Wizard of Oz. So I asked her and she said, sure, I'd love to be in it. And then at the time, I had friends who were, it turned out that they were in IT during the day, but they secretly had a passion for doing video, and they offered to do the video. I just have to pay for, some simple equipment, but they would do it because they wanted to build their portfolio. When we got everyone together, the two dancers, the male and the female, and the videographers, it was quite a chilly September day, and it was the only time we get everyone together and try to make it look like it was summer outside. And I remember Sherry, who was putting her feet on the rocks, we had to give her flip-flops right back right away, because it was so cold. And just the willingness of everyone. I had another friend who had, I was doing ballroom dance with at the time, who had a beautiful home in the beaches and had a studio in a dance studio on the top floor of her home. It was gorgeous. And she very generously moved. She was using it for storage. She had moved stuff out of it so we could use it to film in. So we were at the Scarborough Bluffs early in the morning when it was very chilly to get the right lighting. Then we went to her home. Then for a short bit, we were at my home. And it was just, it just all came together. We all spent the whole weekend. And then, of course, the videographers passed the weekend. And it was just a passion project. So I share that with all of you before I share this video, because I just want you to know that the mind and form will always try to stop us and say it's not possible. We might have limiting beliefs. But sometimes when we just lead with our passion and just be curious, and we're curious and we're open and we wonder, miracles really take place. So I'm going to share this with you now, and I hope the music plays. Here we go. Hi, my name is Pollyanna Blanco, and I'm so excited and honored to share my new book with you. In Rhythm with Your Soul, break through the barriers to being creative, face your demons and dance. In Rhythm with Your Soul will help you to recognize those aspects of self for what they truly are. Your personal demon appearing in different forms to help you to grow. The good news is your demon is not to be confused with anything evil like a demon. Your demon may seem more foe than friend at first, but it is really just your soul communicating to you to help you to grow. May you dive into the depths of your soul, befriend your body, master your mind, and soar with your spirit. When you do so, your life force then ripples back out into the world, inviting others to join the dance of transformation. And the world is the better for it, because you are now in rhythm with your soul. Okay, I'm just curious if it shared at all or not. I hope it did, and if it didn't, I apologize for a long pause of sound. You can also watch the video on Multidimensional Muse YouTube. It's the In Rhythm with Your Soul video, and you can find that very easily below in the video section. And you know, I share that with you before I wrap up, because this marks the seventh episode of the 7-part series. And I'm also excited that next weekend the In Rhythm with Your Soul book club is going to be starting. It's free, and I've already got some people interested in being there, and I'd love to have you there too. It's going to be over 9 consecutive Sundays. We'll take a pause when it gets to the holiday time, because I know it's a busy time for people. There's a link below. If you go to my website and look www.pollyannablanco.com, there is a link there as well, a landing page with more information and the dates. And it's going to be at 12 noon right after the show, Eastern time. And it's going to be a private Zoom. So it's not going to be live streamed through YouTube. That way it can be a private, safe place for you to share what's going on for you, what spoke to you in the book, hear what spoke to other people in the book, and together we'll support each other to find that creative courage to really trust yourself more, to honor the creative impulse that's inside of you that really wants to be expressed through you, and to make sure that you're really honoring your creative impulse, so you can share your sacred soul gifts with the world. Because right now the world needs you more than ever. The world needs you to be the most authentic, the most soulful you, because together we're co-creating and birthing the new earth. And hand on heart, I'm so happy to be on this ride here with you. And I'm so grateful for your presence. And I'm so grateful for the community of lightworkers that I'm blessed to feel connected to, whether I've ever met you in person, face to face, or online or not. I just know you're there. And the fact that I know you're there gives me strength and courage every single day to keep trusting and having faith that the new earth is here, and that together we are making a difference and a positive impact for everyone. Lots of love and light, beautiful creative soul. And on that, I'm going to wind down today's show. We'll be moving forward with, I hope you'll catch next week's episode. I've got a few ideas for it. I've got some interviews planned in the very near future. So stay tuned for more interesting episodes. And I wish you a beautiful, wonderful week ahead. Keep taking really good care of yourself. Lots of love and light. Be well.